out there. Welcome to Live Strong, Die Empty. I'm Terrence Golden, and as always, my co-host Thomas Smith is here today. What's up, Thomas?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good to go. Ready to answer some questions about belly fat today. You know,
okay, let's do it.
I feel offended by this subject, but you know, it might be my belly that it's really not me. It's my belly, probably.
It's your belly fat.
It's my belly fat talking. So hey, man, what's the deal with belly fat? I mean, is this the last thing to go? I mean, I know we work out so hard, and that belly fat is just there, and I feel like the last 6 weeks of your working out, you're just like keep looking in that mirror, going, "Dang it!" It's like a bad family member that's come to stay for a while.
Yeah, come to stay for a long while. Yeah, show up with the kids and all type of stuff. But yes, it's interesting enough. Like you said, your body. The way you lose weight, you do start to feel it in your extremities first. And I mean, is it more so that the stomach is last, or that's the first thing we focus on?
Right.
Really, it's both of them. Right now, six packs. I don't know if a 6-pack will ever be out of style. No. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
Right. I doubt it.
I don't know if there's a pendulum to that. It's just not going to shift. So right now, the focus of everybody's mind is, a 6-pack. So that's the first thing we focus on when we go lose weight is my stomach. And interesting enough, dealing with people and doing consultations, I've had people, no matter what the rest of their body look like, they said, hey, I want the stomach to go. Yeah. And but it is the last part that goes. It's kind of our design.
Is that because of blood supply, or is there something other what makes that belly fat so resilient there?
Yeah. So there's a combination of things. When you get into the subject of lipolysis, and it's interesting because the Facebook Live I did on Saturday was about fasted cardio, and I'm sure that's going to come up here. Yeah. Because that's one of the ways you want to get rid of stubborn fat, belly fat. But when you get into the subject of lipolysis, that's the whole subject of how to get fat mobilized and turn into energy where it can actually be burned. Blood flow does come up, but to the major extent, I guess a larger part of it is the actual receptors that are in the fat. Okay. So fat has two types of receptors. It might be termed alpha 2 receptors or beta 2 receptors, or maybe just alpha beta receptors. But your belly fat has more of a combination of alpha receptors. But the interesting thing is that any area that has stubborn fat has a larger combination or a larger ratio of alpha receptors.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So that's why, but alpha receptors, they're like sugar hungry. I mean, seriously. Yeah. That's why, if you're doing low carbs and all of a sudden you do have carbs, the first place you start seeing is those stubborn areas. Yeah. It just those alpha 2 receptors just absorb sugar. Wow. So that's what makes it really, really hard there. Yeah. So.
Well, it brings up the question of the subject of DNA. Have you ever heard anybody say, they found the fat gene, I got the fat gene or whatever? What do you think about that? What do you think about the fat gene? Is that like a real thing, or?
You know what? Up to this point, I have not seen any real, viable research to say that it is. Yeah. Right now, everything that's out is saying that it's like the whole question of raising kids is nurture or nature, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, right now everything is saying it's nurture. It's the environment. It's how much we're actually eating. Yeah. And obviously everybody has different body types. Yeah. But it comes down to really how we're eating and how we're taking care of ourselves.
It really, and I'm glad you brought up environment because, if the one thing about DNA, it makes a predisposal to something. Possibly it says, well, you got the predisposition to do something, but you can break DNA by changing your environment, because psychologists have said, and I've seen this research, that your environment makes a bigger impact than actually your DNA. So there's some things that DNA just counts, and you can't do anything about it. But like melanin or skin color, that kind of thing. Definitely. So there's not a lot you could do about that. But but definitely with getting in the gym and working out, you get in the place where you have a deficit of calories and you're getting active, you're going to get some movement on that needle. I just believe that. So research shows that that we can beat the DNA, but also the one thing about it is, even if there was some research out there that says there's a fat gene, that research does not deny the fact that everyone can lose weight, and everybody can lose that belly fat too. So give us an idea of like how you work with your client in knowledge sense, when they're saying, I just think this is the way it is. How do you reverse that for them?
Yeah, so we all have limiting beliefs. We have doubt, and we have these things that we've kind of accepted to be truths, when really they're perceptions, their opinions. And so really what I start off with is just getting a person to understand themselves and kind of where they're from. And so if we can understand, okay, yes, it might have been this way for the last 10 years, or it might have been this way all your life. If you can just understand the pieces of the puzzle that kind of put that together, then you can see that, what, if I can change that, then my next 10 years or everything else can change too. Therefore, I can lose the weight. And while I've never experienced, being 120 pounds or 150 pounds, I can experience that because it's not like I'm giving a death sentence by my DNA to be stuck at this weight. Because as you alluded to already, that there's no bit of science out there saying that there is a gene or something in our DNA that supersedes the principles of energy balance, that just stops your metabolism, saying that no matter how much you work out, no matter how good you eat, you're just not gonna lose that 50. Just never seen it. And I know where someone's gonna go in that. I hear it coming up, so I'm gonna speak to it real quick. Thyroid issues are real issues. I've never seen anything linking it to DNA. Do that affect people with weight loss? The research I pulled up on it says yes, but the number is just not as great. So I just kind of heard that because I know that comes up in that equation, but that's far few in between.
I one of the things that one of my favorite mentors, like proxy by proxy, I don't know the person, but they were preaching a sermon and they were like, by the way, calories don't know you. The cake don't know you. They ain't got no vendetta against you. It's like if you don't consume it, you have an opportunity to make that deficit that we were talking about. So when you get when I would come to you and get online coaching, your approach is holistic, isn't it? You work with so let's say I come to you with the goal, hey, I just want to lose belly fat. You're going to work with the food aspects of food. You're going to work with also the workout aspects, and you're also going to work with increasing my knowledge about belly fat and stuff like that. So can you give us a few tips in each area? I just want to give you one tip around food, maybe something, a myth buster or something that you can help us with.
So I'd say a tip about food is that while we're not necessarily let's see what they say, you are what you eat. That's not necessarily true. Otherwise, I mean, heck, I don't know. For years, I probably would turn into Snickers bars,
some kind of candy or something.
But I'd say definitely, I guess in my mind, lean your food out.
Lean it out.
Lean your food out. And what I mean by that is, sodas, the chips. If you start, a lot of times we don't like that talk about getting rid of the carbs. But soda, chips, cookies, donuts, they all are predominantly carbs. And if you can exclude that, then you're going to do a lot to make way with stubborn belly fat. I mean, tremendously. You're going to do a lot just to get a jump on that.
So what would you say to somebody that's like I've heard this myth, it's like, I'm going to do this cabbage diet for the next couple of months and all of that. And, it's just my opinion that when that kind of thing happens, what you're doing is you're making a calorie deficit, because cabbage soup is a certain amount of calories.
It is, and it's low carb. It's a lot of stuff.
So I mean, so you're gonna say, wow, this really works. But again, it's still the deficit, and that's really what people should focus on, right?
Yeah, it is the deficit, and so yes, they're gonna lose weight doing a cabbage diet. They're gonna lose weight doing an oatmeal diet. They're gonna lose weight doing, like years ago, just a bacon diet, because in it, like you said, has the certain principles that are true for losing weight: calorie deficit, getting out crap, the crap carbs and stuff like that.
Right.
But this is the problem with it. And I was just speaking with someone about this today, is that you're not building in enough healthy habits during that time frame. And if you don't plan on spending the rest of your life eating cabbage soup,
Yeah.
because the way you lose it, in essence, a part of that has to be the way you maintain it.
Yeah, yep. Because the moment you go back and get a donut, it's gonna go to those A receptors.
Yeah. And you haven't given yourself any time to build in healthy habits. So you say, okay, I've lost 10 pounds, but guess what? I know how to eat to maintain 10 pounds now. Yeah. To maintain that 10-pound loss. Right. And that's the biggest thing.
So you're saying the journey really is another large part that we don't talk about. The journey of losing weight is just as important as getting to the gym and eating right. You need that journey to kind of reverse the thinking that put you in there in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like I was like, what time was, because I do some programs where you can shed weight fast. I mean, you got a client come up on 6 weeks, gonna be at 20 pounds lost. I mean, you can do it.
Yeah.
The problem isn't how fast it comes off. The problem is, like you said, what are you actually learning? What are you relearning in that journey? Did you learn anything?
Yeah.
How much knowledge about your body? Did you have time to actually develop healthy habits so you know that, hey, I know how to maintain it now. Yeah. And if you are doing something that's unhealthy, then you're not going to do that for the rest of your life. So you just shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But if you're eating actual food and losing weight and it comes off a little bit faster, then I say amen to you.
Yeah. Because I was just listening to a TED talk about the nudge, right? Like the nudge that we need in our mind, on our brains, to go from this is an unsolvable problem or to, hey, I'm in a learning situation.
Exactly.
And as soon as your brain understands I'm in a learning situation, you kind of calm down and you start to focus on solutions and stuff. So I think that little nudge in our knowledge is probably going to be very beneficial to losing weight. So let's talk about workout. I know people that say, hey, I'm going to hit these sit-ups. I'm going to hit 1,000 sit-ups and 1,000 crunches because everybody knows a sit-up make your abs pop out. What do you say to people that have that kind of thing going on?
It's interesting. My training style is completely opposite of that, because if you're 30 pounds, let's just say 30 pounds away from seeing your abs, we don't even start off with crunches. We just don't. I mean, you can do as many crunches as you want, but you're not going to see your abs until those 30 pounds are gone. So what I typically do is we start off our core training so that actually your lower back and all your core muscles are actually strengthened. And then we focus on diet. We focus on getting rid of fat so you can actually see the abs when they're there. You know. So that's typically my approach with it. One of the things I like to try to focus in on, and like I said, I just spoke about this, and it just depends on the client, where they're at, what they want to do, and how much time when they're working out. But it's fasted cardio.
And then usually, like you said, I was gonna go there next because I was like, so you would replace that. I'm gonna do abs and all that stuff. Like, not yet. We're gonna do this first. So here's some fasted cardio. And I'll be honest. When I started doing fasted cardio and told people about fasted cardio, then you gonna pass out at the gym. You gonna pass out at the gym. You gonna bust your head open on that
Stairmaster. Every step on the way down.
You gonna get trapped up under it and everything else. They got to cut your clothes off and everybody's gonna know, right? So I mean, that is something that people that's a new concept. Maybe it's not new, but it doesn't fit the narrative that's out there in the media and everything that a fasted cardio.
And unfortunately, the problem is that what actually works, but what actually gets marketed, are two different things. And fasted cardio, to some extent, doesn't have as many supplements that you can market somebody to. If you tell them,
Oh shucks.
if you tell them, hey, go work out with and don't eat anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't have nothing to sell you now.
Yeah. And nobody that works at a marketing office is walking in with that and going, "Hey Tony, we appreciate you giving us the fasted cardio. We thank you for that. Yeah, you're fired though, okay? Because this doesn't make any money."
Yeah. So, and my whole point with that is, because there are supplements that I recommend somebody do when they're doing fasted cardio. My whole point though is that a lot of our health information that we get comes through marketing.
Yeah.
And it comes through products that we're hearing about on TV, and they're telling us to buy the product, and this is what you need to do with it. So you need to eat this before you work out. You need to drink this as soon as you finish working out. You need to take this, but that really might not be geared for you as a weight loss person, or geared for you for bodybuilding, or whatever it is you're